Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekend market watch. Today is Saturday, April 5th. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. It is starting to get warm finally here where I live. I think it's going to be around 50 or 60 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is really nice. It's been fluctuating between really high highs and really, really low lows. We've had snow and freezing still, even though it's almost springtime. But it's nice to get warm. That being said, let's go ahead and get on into the market watch. So we're going to go over quarter century Stampede as well as some of the cards in it on the market watch. The full release did get revealed. This is just a more visually pleasing version. This is not a leak. The leaks did happen. I did mention that there were leaks, but I didn't go over anything in the last market watch. But now we can go ahead and talk about quarter century Stampede. Overall, this is a pretty good set. I don't see anything in here that I really dislike. There's a couple cards that are missing that I would have personally liked to be in here. That doesn't mean that it's a bad set. So let's go over it. So obviously we have about a bunch of the alt arts, which I'm really happy that Konami's finally doing alt arts. We've had a couple, and they just haven't really done anything beyond that. You know, things like Alistair and Stardust Dragon. Everyone knows the alt art Stratos, but they're starting to do a lot more, which I think is good. I think it's good for the community to have alt arts. I think it's a good experience because people can pick up cards that look better. You know, if people say, "Oh, I like this alt art of Sky Striker Ace Ray instead of this one," they can have that. You know. Overall, so this is the main set. Main set's pretty good, as well as the nostalgia pool. There's a couple cards in here that I question why they're in the main set and not the nostalgia set. Things like Mystic Piper. Really confusing why it's in the main set, but you know, whatever. Good reprints here on this first page. Mystic Piper is a pretty good reprint, I will say. Abyss Lund, Abyss Pike, Heavy Infantry, and Marksman are all really good. Black Dragon, or Black Metal Dragon, really good. This only had super, so it's really nice to see this getting rarity bumps. The Monarchs, Aether, and Erebus, they were solo prints from the structure deck, so really nice to see these, you know, printed and at a higher rarity than I believe super. I think they were super. I don't think they were ultras. I have them. I should know. I'm a little sad that Etchem Chain is the only Fluffle card that's in here. I will be picking up QCR Etchem Chains. I would have loved to see something like Bear or Penguin or Cruel Whale especially, but unfortunately Etchem Chain is the only one in here, and I'm 99% sure it's in here because Branded played it, not because it's a Fluffle card. So, very sad. Feet Ash is in here. I really wish we would have gotten a different alt art of Ash, but I know the jokes about Feet Ash are the jokes about Feet Ash. Second page, Chamber Dragon Maid's a really good reprint. The Dragon Maid deck is getting new support. Hopefully there will be reprints, but if Chamber's not in that set, it's in this one, which is nice. Altar to Fallen of Albaz is nice. The Evil Twin stuff was actually getting up there, like a few dollars a copy for Kiss a Kill and Leela, so it's nice to see those in here, and you'll be able to get higher than Super, but less than Collectors. We have the Altar of Incredible Ecclesia, which is nice. Would have been nice. Actually, I think they might have. No, they've got all the different arts. So it's the Altar of Incredible Ecclesia. It will cause the normal arts to go down a little bit, but not as much as we would like. We've also got Blazing Cartesia, which is nice. The Altar of Lady Labyrinth. Quem is in here, which is great. We have all of the Vanquishal cards that have not been reprinted, which is really cool. We have Pantera, Madlove, and Caesar Valius. Those are the cards that were excluded from reprints, so it's very nice that we have these officially. Altar of Diabellstar is nice. We have Anguish, which is good for the Memento cards. We are going to go over those later. Engraver is nice. It and Lacrima are the only Fiendsmith cards, so expect things like Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, even things like Requiem and Tract to go up a little bit. We'll go over those. I don't have them pulled up, but we can pull them up pretty quickly. Dragon Master Magia. This is the big one. It's in here. It's not going to be a QCR, but it's in here. And I think this has made a lot of collectors very upset. People sunk thousands of dollars into Magia, and we're just riding the high and just, you know, as basically stocks, and Konami decided to reprint it. I will admit, I think people have understood that Magia is not the best way to play Blue Eyes, but it is a way you can play it. And I love the fact that it is getting reprinted. but it is very contentious. A lot of people are not happy that Magia is in this set because they were big investors and they bought dozens of copies, and now they're going to be worth much less. Let's pull that up and just see how much less it is worth actually. Dragon Master Magia. Yeah, so it has dropped. It has dropped a little bit, not a ton. It was, around the 900, so now it's down to 850, 840. So it's not dropped a ton, but I imagine the QCRs will be worth maybe 300 or 400 after this set releases, if that. We've got some other cards. Crystron Phoenix is good. It was the last card of the Crystron archetype that hadn't been reprinted. It's good to be in here. Things like Crimson Dragon were also getting expensive. Big Eye is just a really good card. Abyss Gaios here on the second page is a really great card. Infinity as well, really good reprints. It's nice to see higher rarity Giant Hands as well for our 2014 and beyond Time Wizard formats. The Alt Art of Zeus is really cool. It's nice to see Sky Striker getting some different arts for some of the other less used links. Hayate here has an alt art. Traptrix Sarah is really nice for the Traptrix players who didn't want to spend $30 on the original QCR, or not QCRs, secrets. Splash Mage and Access Code, as well as Amblaware, are nice. Raging Phoenix is also really good for salads, but also for the Promethean Princess OTK. Let's see, what else do we have here? Pot of Extrav is an alt art. Called by the Grave has a really funny alt art. The Lightning Storm alt art is really cool. Drytron Nova is a great card. That card was like $20, $30. I want to pull that up and see how much it was. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. Drytron Nova. Yeah, this was like a $20 to $30 card back not even like 6 months ago, and now it is down to 5 to 7. Really good. I don't even consider picking these up right now. They will be pennies when the set releases. Same thing with 7th Ascension and Bone Party. Mementos now is pretty cheap, so that's nice if you want to play that. And 7th Ascension, you're going to need it for upcoming YCSs, but, I mean, you'll get it pretty quick if you're playing Ryziel, that is. Also, speaking of which, good luck to everyone who was at YCS Houston this week. Hopefully we get the ban list announced at the event. By the time I'm recording this, the event is already well underway, so it might be halfway done by the time this video is posted, but good luck to everyone who's going. Anyways, Metaltronus is nice. That card was getting up to like $5, $6, so it's nice to see that reprinted. Tidying is a good card for the Dragon Maids. It's nice to see that as a higher rarity printing. Destructive Daruma, Big Welcome, and Rollback are all great for the Labyrinth deck, so it's nice that that deck is probably going to be very cheap soon. Let's look at the Nostalgia pool. This pool is actually larger than the main set pool, which is actually kind of nice, but also kind of bad. It means these cards are going to be harder to find, harder to pull, and because of that, they're not going to be as readily available. You're probably still going to be seeing some higher prices on some of these cards. That being said, let's get into it. So, a lot of Dark Magicians, only a couple Blue Eyes. I'm glad we get these two arts of Red Eyes. These are nice arts. I'm still sad we haven't gotten one art of Red Eyes. I forget what art it is, but it's one we haven't gotten here in the TCG yet. Needleworm is actually surprisingly a really good reprint. It was a card that was like $5, $6. It just hadn't gotten a lot of reprints. I think it became cheaper with the 25th anniversary box reprints of the original 6 sets, but it was still a kind of a hard card to find. Delinquent Duo is great for the Go players. The Go players, by the way, Go players are rejoicing right now. They get so many cards for their format that just were not available in anything higher. Delinquent Duo had a secret rare, but Royal Oppression, Dust Shoot, and Metamorphosis, all of them, their highest rarity was like a parallel rare or a Champion Pack Super, and they were hundreds of dollars. I do have them pulled up here. Trap Dust Shoot from Champion Pack 5 was $400 to $500 for a light play. Metamorphosis from Champion Pack 1 was like $500 to $600 for a good printing. Royal Oppression here, not nearly as expensive, but the highest rarity printing was this parallel rare from Dual Terminal, so not really a cool looking rarity. So the fact that the GOAT players get these and can get them at both, I think, Platinum and QCR, I know a lot of people are very happy about that. Dimensional Karma Cut, great reprints. Same thing with D Prison, Baby Sarasaurus, really nice. Kurez, I'm glad that all the Monarch cards are in here. Actually, real quick, I just thought of this. It doesn't look like we are getting. Oh no, we are getting Pantheism. I believe it's in the Nostalgia pool. I'm just gonna quickly skirt ahead. I think it's yes. Okay, we do get Pantheism. It is in the Nostalgia pool. Anyways, coming back here, Formula Synchron is really nice. Phoenix Incalster Amaryllis is great. It's a great reprint. That card was like $30 to $40 for a single copy, maybe more. Let's pull that up and see how much it was. I'm just like showing off everything that we're gonna go over here. Cluster Amaryllis. There it is. Yeah, this card was $40 for a copy, and I think you needed at least 2, maybe 3. It is already dropped to $20 for a near mint. People are like pretty much panic selling these, so it's a great time to pick those up if you would like. Or not a great time to pick it up. It will be a great time to pick these up. This is going to be great for the Edison players. Edison players are really happy. Hyunlei is also a great reprint for Edison. Let's see what else. Maxi's in here. It's in the Nostalgia pool, but who cares? We got a common and a parallel secret in the Speedo box. The fact that we get a cheaper rarity, well, not cheaper, but we get higher rarities that will be cheap again is really nice, especially for Time Wizard events if they start running more like 2014, 2013 level events. Steel Swarm Roach is a great reprint. That card was actually getting a little expensive. Same thing with Crimson Blader and the Vol Chain. Crimson Blader wasn't expensive, but it's nice to be able to get higher rarity printings of the card. The Vol Chain was expensive. I do have the Vol Chain pulled up here. You were spending at least $5 to $6 on a gold rare. If you wanted a secret rare, you're spending $15. So it's really nice that we are getting this as a higher rarity but cheaper printing of the card. Shockmaster is also a really good reprint. Let's see, what else do we have here? Mageline and Angeli are nice for Madolche. Unfortunately, these were ones that were easier to pick up. Mageline and Pudding Cess are here. Angeli is here. It is later on in the set because it was released after the cards. So I think the cards are ordered in release date, which is a little odd, but whatever. We have some Yugioh Armors stuff. That's really nice. I think Super Rare was the highest for Yugioh Armors. That's nice for 2014. Fire Kings are getting some higher rarity printings. We get Diamond Direwolf, Breakthrough Skill, Hoot Cake, and Harpy Chandler are really nice. Traptrix Marmelio is great. The highest rarity printing for that card was a super rare from an Astral Pack, so it's really nice that we get a secret rare or a secret version of the card. Same thing with Bujin, Yamato. I know people love Bujins. The Hands, Soul Charge, Curry Bandit's great. We got BAs. We have friggin' Shadol Fusion. There's a lot of cards in this Nostalgia pool that I'm really happy about. Brilliant Fusion, like I said, Pantheism, Bambuku, Kirin, Block Dragon, Snow, Union Hanger, ABC Dragon Buster, Master Plan, Masterpiece, Invocation, Linkuriboh, High King Caesar, Electromite, everything. Like, this is a pretty good set. The only thing that they could have added that I would have loved to see that we didn't get to see was some Fluffle cards. Things like Fright for Cruel Whale, or Fluffle Dog, or just Bear. Getting a holo printing of Bear would have been nice, but we didn't get lucky. The Fluffle community is sad, but overall, Quarter Century Stampede, very good set. There wasn't a lot that I wanted to cover in terms of other things. I wanted to just bring up the Memento deck to show you guys off. This has been seeing more representation with Anguish and Bone Party being reprinted. The most expensive card you're looking at is Combined Creation, which is a one-of in the deck. Everything else in this entire deck is super cheap. Memento, Migdolan, friggin' Goblin, Mace, Tatsuno Shishigo, Darkblade, all of them are pennies, so I would recommend picking up a combined creation now if you think you'd like to play Memento, because I could see this card spiking up to, I mean, it's already spiked up a lot. It went from 3 to about 5. You can see there's buyouts. It's about 8 or 9. So I would recommend picking this up if you would like to play the deck. It looks like collector's rares aren't going up too much. They shot up from about 15 to about 16. So maybe just pick up a collector's rare, or I guess if you really want, you can pick up a QCR. This has been going down a lot, so right now it's 25. It hasn't gone up too much, so if you like Memento, haven't had a chance to pick up the cards, I would say pick up a combined creation and the other pennies, and then just wait for Anguish and Bone Party to be reprinted. As always, I like to go over the best-selling cards from the last few weeks. Not a ton has changed, but some things have altered. Now that we have the QCR Stampede list, we know what's going to be in there. So unfortunately, 7 Tachyon isn't in there. We weren't really expecting it to be, but it's still about $60. We knew Lordly Load wasn't going to be in there. Fuelos is in this set, I believe. I might have glossed over it, but we already knew about that. It's down to $40 of printing. Perulia is likewise down to about 30 or 20 for the ultra rares. Engraver is down to only about $27 a copy. The money card right now in Fiendsmith is, believe it or not, tracked. This is a $35 card because people are buying it in case Engraver gets limited. If Engraver gets limited, you play more tracked. The Odeon support or Odeon cards, I should say, are surprisingly expensive. Anubis the Last Judge is $12, Man with the Mark is $10, Treasures of the King is $9. I know that this deck is seeing a lot of representation, a lot of love. People like the fact that this deck exists and is doing actually really well. I heard the first round of YCS Houston, we had Odeon Fiendsmith versus Rysel Fiendsmith, and Odeon Fiendsmith actually won. I might not be 100% sure. That might not be 100% correct, but I know that's what I was told. And yeah, apparently very, very cool. Primate Barrel Dragon is 25. I don't expect this to get reprinted, so maybe consider picking these up if you want to play Primate Blue Eyes. I've been saying it, but I think the Malice cards are worth picking up. Underground is only 20, and White Rabbit is 25 to 30. I think these are worth picking up if you would like to play Malice. I initially wanted to play it, but I kind of am not really interested in playing it anymore. Silhouette Hat Rabbit is still around 20. Crimson Tears, like I said, this card has gone up a lot. It is up to about $20 a copy. It was only about $8, $9 for a while. It has shot up and up and up. White Forest. I always talk about White Forest. You guys know I love my White Forest cards. LZ has shot up again. It was about $20, $25. It is up to around $40 to $35. So not super surprising. People were hoping for reprints. I'm not surprised at all that they weren't included. I want to just go and pull up the cards here so we can look at them. LZ Azamina is 10. Esteller is 10. You only play 1 to 2 of Azamina LZ, and you barely play 1 Esteller. So it's not surprising that these have gone down substantially. Everything else in the deck is pretty cheap. Again, I'm sad that we got a Super Arusia, but we didn't get Sylvie at all as like an upgrade. I have no idea if the QCRs have gone up. I'm not super... Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I do think they have gone up. These do look like they have gone up. I think, yep. A lot of the QCRs were pretty cheap. Silvera was only about 40. Rusia was similar, 40, 35. I think Diabel was always in like the 70. No, it was actually in the $50 mark, and it has shot up to around the $60, $70 mark. So not super surprising. QCRs are QCRs are QCRs. They do a lot of weird stuff. Let's keep going. We'll check out the second page, and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, Requiem's up to 15. Baoku is actually below 20, kind of crazy. Druis Worm, I'm sure the Bestials all went up because they were not in this set. We don't know if they're going to get hit, but let's take a look. Yeah, Druis Worms are still holding 20. Lubellions are back up to 20. Sorniers are 5. Dispotters are 10. Yeah, not super surprising that these went up. That might mean they get hit, but, I mean, a lot of people thought the Bestials were going to be in Quarter Century Stampede, and they weren't. Deception is 30. X-Cross here is 3. The X-Head Cannon stuff just not doing a whole lot in terms of, like, being good. The Ryzeal stuff is super cheap. Look at this. Ice Ryzeal is 13, X Ryzeal is 10, Detonator is 10. Gosh, these are... People know that Ryzeal is going to get hit in some capacity. Really strange. Other than that, Black Outlast is 20. This is for the White Force deck. Metaltron is a drop now. It is only about $3 to $2 a copy, so that's really nice. Yeah, so that is it for today's Market Watch. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, a lot of things are going to change. I believe Core Century Stampede releases in the next week or so, we will definitely take a look at prices after that set hits. I think a lot of things are going to be cheap. This might finally be a cheap game to play. Probably not, because White Forest and Ryzeal are still around, but yeah, good to know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace!